Alrighty. Hello. Just Ink Water, you're watching both on IG and YouTube. Thanks for popping in. Julio, how you doing? Welcome. Great to have you. So today, I think I mentioned it last stream. The people over at Escape Motions, the creators of Rebelle, and in particular Rebelle 8, were kind enough to give me an early access look at number 8, because I've personally been playing around with the trial of Rebelle 7. But yeah, I reached out. I said, "Hey, can I give the Rebelle 8 a whirl? I'll give it a whirl on stream, because I'm generally having a blast with it, you know." Prasham, what's going on? So this is, I wouldn't say sponsored. This stream is, it's not sponsored. I'm going to do what I want to do, but the guys over at Escape Motions were kind enough to give me a license. So full disclosure, but I like it. They didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them. It's very fun. The cool thing about this, you can't hear me? Test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can't hear. Why can't you hear on Instagram? Can you guys hear on YouTube? Sounds good. Now you can. I feel like it was a you problem. No, all good. Okay. Rainy, YouTube's fine. Sounds good. Fantastic. All right. Oh, it gives me bloody... stresses me out. I just start chatting away. So yeah, the reason I liked it, also I don't have like an affiliate code or anything yet. I probably should. But if you've followed me for any amount of time, you probably know that I want to get into more traditional stuff, right? And the way that these guys position themselves is more like a traditional painting simulator than a digital painting software, if that makes sense. And I've been having a blast just playing around with this more traditional brushwork, right? And it's looking like the amount of detail you can get in these textures and the simulations that they're running, even for like watercolors and stuff, and how like all the pigments mix together. Yeah, this isn't an ad for them. If you like it, go and pick it up. But I like it, so I reached out to them. I'm gonna have a play around with this guy as well today, just to get started. Now I am a little bit fumbly with it, with all the UI and stuff. Right. Also, let me know if the music is too loud. I feel like it's too loud in my ears. Where have I put the music? There we go. Also, I will mention, I'll be at Lightbox this October with my mate Rembert Montold. We will be at, I can't remember the booth name, but you'll be able to find us down in Pasadena. June music was fine. What you doing? So I can't, like, if it's too loud. There we go. It was hopefully that's a happy medium. K Art, what's going on? So yeah, as I mentioned before, I am fairly new to this. Like, I'll show you a couple of things that I've been working on. Do I want to save? Yes. Now this is also early access as well, so there will be some buggy stuff. But just to give you an idea of sort of like the painterliness that you can get with it, which is pretty sick. All right, I've been having to play around with some of these environment studies and blah 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 blah. Again, not sponsored. They did give me a whatever it's called, a license, but I requested a trial for it because I'm using it in my own time. So let's go back to this one and let's get cracking, shall we? Do you want to save? No. Orkin, I didn't get rid. Prashan, you legend. Where'd you find that? Oh, they've probably released the booth. 421. Prashan doing my job for me. Oh God. I just got so many. Let's have a look. Who is it? Tadejapek 1. How you doing? Yeah, got a whole bunch of stuff to do before I leave, and I haven't even thought too much about it, but I really should. Okay, now what I'm thinking about is just throwing down some colors, right? Having some fun. No, I didn't get rid of my glasses. I couldn't find them, so we are working on about 70% vision right now. So let's see how that goes. So I'm gonna, like, the cool thing now, like, underpaintings really shine through, pun fully intended. So yeah, boost 421. And I'm hoping that there's like pink. I don't know. I'm just having a play and we'll see how it goes. But I'm thinking that this pink underpainting could really pop the yellow. We shall see. Just ink watercolor. If you want to comment on YouTube, you'll probably have a better chance of me seeing it, because Instagram just goes and goes. How long are you drawing for? Probably about a good hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. The usual. So again, these streams are every Monday, 10:45 Australian Central Standard Time, 3 something Sunday PST, because of time zones and stuff. So now I'm gonna whip open the bristle brush. Right, this is their new thing, which I've been having to play around with. So it actually gets all, like, it simulates all the bristles, which is in the name, right? So that's the greetings from Croatia. Appreciate you. All the principles are the same. But one thing that I've noticed also, just from like a color mixing standpoint, if you get like a blue in Photoshop, right, and then you get like a yellow in Photoshop, it's going to mix to like a not very accurate sort of color. It is a bit laggy as well, only because I got so much stuff going on, and I think it's pretty dense. But you notice if I turn on this pigments thing, we can get like accurate color mixing. Whoa. With like the green showing up between them, which is pretty sick. All right, so let's block in and see if we can use the principles of some traditional stuff. So one thing I've been reading about is keeping your darks thin. So I think it's like fat over light. I don't know if that's the same rule or not, but keeping your darker values thinner, and as you go up in value, they get thicker. I don't know. I tried it a bit with this guy. Seemed to work out kind of cool. So let's see. Let's also maybe even test out a little sphere to see if we can understand the value or the materials a little bit. I've been doing a ton of these working on the course. So let's have a look here. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? So the sliders are all the same as what you're used to. So you'll have to forgive me with this one because it is going to be a little bit more on the janky side of me not zipping around as fast as usual because I'm still learning. But this is going to be like a super, like ultra shiny sort of material that we've got going on with a little bit of a hint, if I want to, with like blue sky potentially. I believe Orkin, it's raster based, pixel based. Yeah, I don't think it's vector, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 1,000% sure. But I'm pretty sure it's pixel based. All right, so it's even like just the blending is fun. I've just been having some fun with the getting the colors to mush together. All right, so we got the shiny material. This should sort of maybe be a little bit darker as it wraps down into the shadow. Because you've got to think quite differently. The principles are the same, but like how you lay it down really, really matters. Because you can do like all sorts. You can do like soft round. Where are we at? Like that kind of stuff. You can just blend as well. So if you want to go in like just blend mode, you can come here and just blend them if you want. It's a little bit crazy for my liking. I like a little bit more of a subtle kind of vibe to it. All right, so now we've got this kind of understanding of that material. Let us play. Are you on Procreate too? Yeah, I was playing around with Procreate last night. Fun fact, they used Rebelle's drip simulation for Spider-Verse too. You can see it, especially in Gwen's work. That's cool. That's very cool. Because yeah, they've got this shit. Like this is the weirdest stuff that I'm not entirely sure how I would utilize it. But I think you notice how it like dries. It's not done. So let's not gouache. Let's do watercolor. Whack a watercolor down, right? You'd think, okay, now I'm done. You watch that for a second. Like you see, it's like it's drying on the edges, and then I think you can do like a hair dryer or something. There's a way to like add water first, so you can like somehow add water here, then if you paint on this section, it'll act as if there's already water there. It's like crazy shit. Like it's cool, man. I think it's very, very cool. But I'm just gonna have, because I have not. This is like a whole thing, so I'm not gonna fluff about with that too much. I'm just gonna stick to the oils, because I feel like the closest to digital, like the process at least. Around it. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. Angel, wow, that's so nice. Is this program Mac only? No, I think it's both. Mac and PC from what I understand. So let's start blocking in, shall we? But also what you sometimes see with painters, right, traditional painters, is they'll leave some of that underpainting in, you know, right? They're not going to fill everything, every part of the canvas, which is like a really nice effect, which is somewhat difficult. Like, it's not difficult. You just got to think and almost plan ahead a little bit. It's like, where do I want the like peaks of this pink to still shine through, you know? Still same principles. Nothing's really changing. You just want to, and the cool thing is you can like color mix like you would in real life. It's like, all right, if I want to get this get between these two colors, all right, well, let's just mix them on the palette. Boom, now we got that sort of in between value. It's pretty cool. I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it. I don't want this to sound too much like an ad, but it's, yeah. I would not be showing it to you guys if I was not playing around with it, you know. Is it on iPad too? No, it's not. They don't have a iPad app from what I understand, but I think you can use it on tablets, like other than iPad. I'm not entirely sure. You'd have to look at their website. But this is where we can start to get a little bit like artsy-fartsy and suggest things just with like a few brush strokes. You can do this in other programs as well, but I just like doing it, playing around here. It's like a new toy. I'm just like, yeah, trying to push it and play. Because I can see this working into my workflow. Because I could even see this as like a preliminary traditional sketch before I was going to work in oils or something, you know? What would it look like first? Test it out. And then give it a go, you know? All right, what I've been seeing of oil painters, they want to cover the canvas. Oh. Oh, no. Nope, never mind. And also, it'll interact with, if you don't lock the layer, right, if I go over this pencil, like it will drag, like it'll act like how a pencil would act within the paint itself. You know, so yeah, it's pretty cool, just from like a technology kind of thing. So this top plane of the car is going to be a lighter value. All right, still got the flip. X Steel 23, what's going on? Cami Seta, thank you very much. Man, I'm struggling. I don't know. I wonder with glasses, do your eyes get used to them so much that then like now you just can't go back? Because I'm struggling to see the screen with the chat. It's a worry. So I might even just block in the orange. All right, quite a deep orange. Now we got these lights. They're going to be like a grey. Yeah, your eyes get dependent. That's what I'm feeling. Because if I don't have them. I mean, I haven't worn them today. But even so. But maybe it's like I've seen the light. I've seen the... what could be. I've seen vision in 4K and then it's going back to bloody 720p. I didn't know what I was missing. Thought of laser. Never. Nah, I'm not touching that stuff. No one's getting a laser near my eye. Ugh. Catch you later, KR. Thanks for popping in. Super. What's going on, dude? Can't stay for long. Cool new painting. Does it have a filthy equivalent? Not from what I've seen. I would love that though. I haven't looked into their plugin ecosystem, if they even have one. They've got lasso tools and everything, but not like autofill. So yeah, I could even reach out to them. Because that would be kind of fun. Having that texture. But filthy. The filthy texture. Hope you've been doing well, man. How's the game coming? Katie, what's going on, dude? Hope you've been well. This is Rebelle 8. Filthy plugin in Inca. What is Inca? All right, again, we want to keep the logic the same. Just because we're painting with different materials, all the logic will stay the same. Values are values, lights are lights. Game's going alright. I got sick for a bit, so I haven't spent too much time on it the past few weeks. Anyways, gotta go. That's a bugger, man. Hope you're feeling better. Thanks for popping in, dude. So I guess, how are we going to tackle, because we've put such a stark pink background in here. I reckon we just keep flowing through and thinking about using our reference, thinking about what's going on inside here. Maybe get a little bit of the blues. Maybe even the darks first. To sort of get it feeling like the inside. So that's gonna come down there somewhere. Probably there. I don't know. fiddle around until something starts feeling right. Now there's going to be a reflection here. I've been working a ton on trying to explain specular reflections. Tricky things they are, but once it starts to click, it's nice. Also, it's not Christmas. Every single time. This music, I tell you. Yeah, specular reflections. They're a tricky one. And I'm trying to figure out how to explain it in a way where it's not too technical, because there is a lot of technicalities. You can go way, way, way deep into the physics of specular reflections. Create some like useful rules of thumb. You know, the octopus drawing you made looks amazing. You should let us take a closer look at it. Oh, you too kind. There you go. I want to start doing a little bit more story stuff in my work. I was even thinking of having like this guy, maybe instead of like a fish, it's like a crab or something, I don't know. But then there's like a seagull standing behind him, but like half off the screen. So it's like he thinks he's got the meal, but then you got like an albatross or something behind him. I don't know. Yeah, and that's just using this reference as well. Trying to figure out, this is what I'm talking about, specular reflections, sort of thinking about them in layers almost. All right, I think I've even got it. No, I think I closed it. I'm trying to do like animations to show how some specular reflections can work. So yeah, I guess the plan here, cover the canvas. Cami, I came here from your anim school stylizing workshops. Loved everything about them. Ah, appreciate it, Cami. No, they were good fun. How have you been finding anim school? You notice I'm taking it like really slow, like and methodical. It's not a bad way to go. With this sort of style of more oil painterly kind of stuff. Think about what's happening, thinking about the values. Yeah, it's not too much of a jump. It's just all like the brush settings and stuff. I'm literally just using one brush really, which is the Bristle Soft. Let's turn off the sketch. See, something's happening. I think we turn back on the sketch. For now. We need to show that real difference in values, right? Particularly underneath the car. So this is going to curve down underneath. It's going to be more in shadow underneath here. Colorful Souls, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. We can start playing with some of these planes here. All right, starting to get some volume to it. I think there's also this like Photoshop plugin, so you can like go back and forth. So I could like start in Photoshop, throw it into here, do some work in here, go back to Photoshop, you know. So there's that element to it as well, which is kind of cool. I haven't tried it yet though. Now, really looking at this specular. Little specular highlight. Right, I'd like to blue this down a little bit. Also, the pencil's really nice as well. We might have a look at that a bit later. The Bone Brew, what's going on? Welcome. See, this is an example here. If I don't want too much of this impasto, the impasta, in the darks, so what I can do, I think, is I can come down and sort of smudge it back to give it less, I think. I wonder if there's like a de-impasto brush. I don't know. Someone that's worked with this more probably has a better idea about all the little tips and tricks and whatever. The Bone Brew, thank you. Just experimenting at the moment. I do like their ruler. Their like line tool here. This is quite nice. Just for like throwing in like specific angled. I think I should be able to turn off snapping, I think, which is a little bit annoying, but apart from that, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, is it worth throwing in a bit of a ground? Maybe. There is also, I know there's a setting here, I think, for color noise per stroke, which gives you that, like each stroke's a different color, I think. Or like a slightly different hue. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. So that's nice. Like it's so slight. If we do like the rainbow, yeah, that'll show it up even more. And because we've got the real bristly stuff, we kind of do want to make sure we're kind of going in the right direction. Or like, not the right direction, but keeping an eye on our brush directions. At least in this case. Again, there's no rules to any of this stuff. It's just something I'm keeping in mind. My brush directions. Let me actually... Let me close Pinterest just to save a little bit of memory. This is great for practicing, what's the word? Like impressionistic sort of stuff, like not getting it super detailed, but just putting the impression of getting the values correct, but just showing the impression, right? And then if you go in close, it's like, whoa, what even is this? But yeah, doing a bit of practice with that, which is nice, because you can't get shit like with all this brush noise and the brush strokes. You can't really get too caught up in the details, which is quite nice. Cami, what's your thinking for the lighting? How do you know where to put the highlights? I'm using the references here, sorry, on Instagram. I do have a reference here, but I've got like a general idea of, okay, it's kind of an overcast day. The light's coming from the top, and this is a super shiny surface. So that's where I can start to invent some of these specular reflections, and where would these planes be facing, you know? Like this is going to be a reflection of the environment. Alright, so it's going to be reflecting down here, so this is going to be a darker value. Yeah, no, all good, Cammy. That's my bad. That's my fault. If you paint on a layer under the one with color, does the wet effect from the top layer transfer down, or do brush effects only work on the same layer? I don't know. You can like pause them as well. So you can like dry the layer. You can wet the whole layer. You can choose where certain things are wet. I don't know about that. That's a good question. Yeah, I haven't really played around with the wetness stuff too much. But I think like the idea of thin paint for the darker values and then thicker paint for the highlights really, I don't know, it's just sort of clicked for me. It clicked for me with traditional, right? But being able to iterate really fast here. So we've got like thinner paint here. But then if we really wanted to make this read, because the thing is, in a gallery, right? If this was, or just like in general, the paint interacts with the light source, and that's where, like you can see here, I've made it like really impasto because that's catching some light versus down here, which is very like thin. All right, so it's given like an extra layer of illusion that we can work with. How are we looking? Now we could do a little Lion Decker-esque same layer. Bristle round. Whoa. So you can go like real thick if you want to. Bristle flat. So we could like, see it does this sometimes. I'm not sure what triggers that, but again, this is open early access, so some things aren't going to work exactly how they should. Now I could even just go start painting on top to then go over some of this pencil work as if it's like traditional, you know, like, yeah, just having some fun with it. It's a bit garish, the pink. Don't hate it. I don't love it. So we can really flatten this down if we want to. One thing I do like doing is changing the canvas color to a little bit of an off-white. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. I don't know, something about it. So I shuttered my tablet, dropping it not long ago, so I'm stuck doing traditional only. And I'm running into the fact that I've never gone from sketch to finish on a traditional piece. Blessing and a curse. In like decades, and it's kind of jarring to realize. Hey, silver linings, alright? Smash the tablet. Yeah, it could be a little blessing in disguise. Nah, I've turned on like the true pigments, Prashan. Yeah, which helps them blend together like more naturally. But I think also the pink and the yellow, like the underpainting, is really helping it. Because if I turn off the underpainting, a lot less vibrant, you know, and it kind of throws off all the values as well. Hey, wait a minute. Where are your glasses? I couldn't find them before stream. I was a minute late to stream, and that's why I was running around the house trying to find them. I do not know where they've gone. But I've got built-in value checkers. I got my value checking eyes in. Also, something completely off topic. If you guys happen to have a TV and an iPad, and you're like drawing on the iPad, I just happened to do this last night. If you AirPlay your iPad to the TV while you're drawing, it's like a massive tablet. I mean, it makes sense, but I've never done it before. It's pretty cool to see like what you're working on a larger scale as well at the same time. It's kind of reverse of what's going on here. All right, so there's some subtleties here which we can start to get into. See, it's too bristly. I've got to play around with some of these settings. Shapes and bristles. Variation, random noise, per bristle pressure. Edges, thick, thin. Yeah, I don't know what any of this is, so. There's also, Procreate has a screen projection. Yeah, sick. G'day, Eblin. Loving this for something different. I'm glad. It is something different. Something more way laid back and chilled and very methodical. I noticed the paint itself has a light source. Is that adjustable? And if so, does it affect the canvas as well? It is adjustable. So I think, yeah, you can impasto depth. So you can like crank it up or knock it back to something very minimal on like a global level, which is cool. And you can make it more glossy. Right, so it really feels like, okay, yeah, there's like paint on here, you know? Or if you want it more matte, which is kind of what I like, somewhere around there. So yeah, you can play around with those settings. Extreme maybe. On the opposite, it's hard for me to adapt using digital. What I need is a CSP for Dummies book. Huh? Yeah, it is weird getting used to a tool. But my feeling is with this in particular, I think I could teach myself more about traditional using this than I could purely on Photoshop, you know? That's just my initial thoughts. In practice, not sure how it would go, but I'm going to find out. So where was I? Yeah, so you can do all your lasso tool stuff as well. Like, I don't think they have a filthy equivalent, but I could just take this area here, get this value, bump it up a little bit, and just work within. Just work within that shape, which is quite nice. Again, I don't want to get rid of all this pink. I'd like to clean it up a little bit. Gabrielle, how you doing? Ah, appreciate you. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I think I'll get rid of this just to frame it a little bit nicer. We've got to try and find all the abstract kind of shapes. I think I want to blue this up a little bit more. Scooch it more towards the blue hue. Does it have a blending tool? Does it ever? You can blend all day. That's even. Yeah, then after playing around with this, I reckon I might crack open like a little pencil sketch I was playing around with and see if we can get some progress on that. Play around with the pencil simulations. Do you ever participate in things like Inktober? Bloom Art, thank you. No, I haven't. I'm not opposed to it. I just never have really. Can also come on top with like an ink pen. But that's going to bleed. Look at this. You do ink on top of oils, that's going to bleed. So no, we can't do that. We've got to do it on a separate layer. So we could come through and crispen up. Do some mixed media. Don't know when you would ever do pen on wet oils, but we're doing it. Tyler, what's going on? Just adding some of these little details. Thanks, man. I think we could even play around, really pushing some of these darks and like cutting in, making sure we're still describing that tire, but we want to make sure we're getting this well. I am putting it under a bit of pressure because of all the streaming stuff. We really would want to kind of make sure we are showing that overlap between the tire. Cool. All right. I might. Oh, might I? What are we doing? I could just continue to play with this for ages. I'll just add one bit of detail here, bit of detail back there. Got this dark reflection there. Maybe a little bit of this reflection. Yeah, I mean, I could just keep going. Let's see if I can find what happened to your YouTube channel, because wow, it was cool to watch all the time. It's still there. Still there. I've just been doing lives while I've been on other projects, but YouTube videos are on the plan. They are definitely on the roadmap. I've actually got one that I started this time last year that I had a look at recently. Okay, let's see if I can find where do they save them? That one, no. Yeah, this guy. So here I was trying to play around with some pencil work. So I did the initial sketch on stream a few streams ago. I was just trying to see if I can invent sort of like the lighting. I think I used, yeah, something like the 2H. So we could carry this on for a little bit. Yep. Using Rebelle. Someone recommended it to me in chat, and I think I'd opened it like ages ago and got the trial, but I never really did anything with it. Yeah, that's right. Now, this is an issue with my tablet, not the program. Sometimes it'll go out of brush. Like, what you call it? Like pen pressure. So here I'm still, it's just another way of describing the form. Same as the oils, same as the digital brushes, everything is the same. It's just the principles. No, it's just the way that we describe them. It's going to be a little bit different. Also, last image that I posted on Twitter did bloody well. I don't know what that was about. I've got a feeling that there might be, also from like a content standpoint, more of an appetite for this more traditional kind of vibe as well. So there's cast shadow on the eye. Right, so the light source, the center light is going to be like here. So we've got to follow that through. Now this is, it's chugging because of stream. That's the only issue. Can we get another? Cammy, so far, would you recommend Rebelle 8 over Photoshop or digital art? I wouldn't recommend it over it. It's a different thing. How I would use it, you know? In the settings in Rebelle, you can change the tablet driver. Go. Oh, okay. Someone knows about Rebelle. All right. Preferences. Talk to me. Tablet. What am I changing? Then you can choose between Wacom, compatible, Xpen. Ooh. Okay. I'm in tablet. Don't see any options to change. Rotation offset. Oh, it's different. Mine is just, bugger. Okay. I think Mac might just choose the... That's all right. It's feeling all right at the moment. I think it's also auto-saving constantly, which is going to be... I could turn that off. How do I turn that off? But then remember to turn it back on. Autosave enabled yeah. I think that's what's potentially slowing it down, but I have to remember to throw it back on. Yeah, that's a lot smoother. I think. Maybe. Yeah, so I really want to... What I've been finding with pencil is to follow the form. All right, so I really want to understand what this is. Okay, where that... the topology of his face is, and also keeping in mind the light source as well. I must admit, it is machine intensive. Yeah, that's why I think, like, if someone asks, should you get it? Like, it's a different beast. They position themselves as, I mentioned before, a traditional painting simulator, which is very cool. And it's like, it's different than, say, like a Photoshop competitor. It's not. I don't think it's going after the same market. It is, but it's not, you know, it's an interesting in between. But yeah, I mean, even Photoshop chugs when I'm streaming as well, so it's not a Rebelle thing. But yeah, just trying to be really mindful of the direction as well. You can go, like I was even trying it on like an invented character here, like this fella. You could go straight up and down with all of these lines to represent the form, right? Nothing wrong with that. But what I've been seeing, particularly in some of my Pinterest saves pins is that they'll actually follow the form, like the nose, imagining it as like that cylinder, you know, so they'll follow it like the cylinder, and then they'll come through and maybe imagine this section of the cheek as if you're drawing on top of the form, you know. Yeah, it's not a subscription. No, it's like you pay once and you got it kind of thing, which is quite nice. I like Rebelle, but I like texture brushes in CSP. Yeah, CSP is good as well. This is the thing. I don't think it's going to be like, if you're really into traditional looking stuff, this is sick, you know. So how we tackle the hair? So there could be this big clump. Here, that sort of like wisps around. We could, again, still keep in mind that light source. So there might be like a shine here or something, right? Yeah, right, okay. That's good to know. Let's see if I can get, like, play around with the charcoaly kind of vibe as well. That's nice. But I think it clashes with the brushwork I've got there, but I'm kind of okay with that, just for experimentation purposes. Also, let's give this... Catch you later, Cammy. Appreciate you popping in. So now I can give it that texture that's going to show through with the brushes as well, which is nice. Yeah, the pencil's got tilt. Wasteland TV, have you always enjoyed the process of drawing? I have. But does that mean that it's without frustration? Definitely not. And it's a little bit toothy for my liking. A little bit too rough. Might even look at making a brush that's this pencil, but it's... Let's get that texture back. I think we can scale down the texture as well. Yeah, cool. But then it's just like... So it does like a bunch of lines. Just as like a time saver. This could be pretty taxing on your hand as well. Just going like but it does give such a nice effect that it's kind of like, okay. Do you prefer digital over traditional? It depends what I'm doing it for, you know. I like both. Ryan, what's going on, dude? Thanks, man. Welcome back. So I think these cast shadows in particular should be one flat value. I wonder, yeah, maybe the hair should be one flat value as well. Oh, I wonder. Just like in the back here. And then we could pick out different strands if we want to. So yeah, the process is different. Which I quite like. Also, if you're feeling like it's a little bit same, I'm not saying get this program necessarily, but like try oils, you know. Try some traditional. If you're always digital, whack open some gouache. Get like a different perspective. Sculpt even. Digital, traditional, whatever. Change it up. But that can also be my issue, because I'll just like change all the time. I'll just be like bing, 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 bing. What's the pencil brush look like tilted? Oh, maybe it doesn't. Oh, this brush doesn't have tilt. But then you choose this one and then it's got tilt. So you got that one and then you can go more tilty like that. But this is like Pentel, so it's just like a standard sort of like mechanical pencil. Then we can do a little smudge, maybe to give it like that like paper kind of feel. I don't know, I just reckon it's cool. Got to figure out some things to draw while I'm at Lightbox as well. Get some projects on the go. But this is where it would be very useful, and I found it useful when I was doing this one to begin with. I cracked open like some style reference, so some like drawings like from the old masters, old like golden age of illustration kind of guys, like getting them up and just seeing how they solve certain problems. Like how they compress their values, how they did their pencil work, you know. Yeah, the smudge does look nice. It's not perfect, which is cool. You could get a perfect smudge, but it's as if I've gone in with my finger and just gone zip zip. Let's see if we can get this feeling more rounded, this guy. Because that light source is going to be coming from down here. It's not going to be hitting too much of his neck, so we want to maybe like darken that value down. And even think about this plane here. What is that going to look like? Yeah, so the pencil lines are both creating value and indicating form at the same time, which is kind of cool. Similar, I think, like a similar idea to what we were doing last stream. Arts by Ankit. What's going on? So it's a game of subtlety, right? Because all the back of his traps are going to wrap around. You have some people that will crosshatch, right? Do a bit of this. Then you got people that will just keep with the single lines. I quite like the single lines. Just from a style perspective. I'm getting difficulty in showing form as a traditional artist. Traditional or digital, doesn't matter. Form is form, light is light. All right, with form, you really want to make sure that you're thinking about the wireframe or the contours of stuff, right? Because as soon as I lose that understanding, it's kind of game over. I don't know where I'm at. Ornella. Hi Ben, I love your videos. Thank you so much. I'm finding my style and improving a lot thanks to all your videos. Oh, that's awesome. I love how you draw stylized references. Appreciate you. From Argentina. Thanks so much for popping in. So even here, I'm still thinking light source, center light, center light, center light, center light, center light, all over, you know? Yeah, some people like the Asara head. That's cool. I like the Asara head. You've got to, with the Asara head, I think you've quickly got to try it on your own piece after studying from the Asara head. Or in conjunction, not after, because you don't have to stop studying from that. Because everyone's going to have different kinds of planes on their head, right? Oh, nice one. Yeah, you can find them about the place where you can change the planes and that sort of stuff. Got to be careful with some of them because some of them don't show the reflected light, but still useful. Still useful. So working a lot in the halftones here. Bullwinkle, appreciate it, my friend. Catch you later, Prashan. Thanks for popping in. Right, and this is the reality of this. I don't think this is particularly interesting, but I'm just like going slowly, trying to think about this is going to be the brightest part. You know. Really want to show that subtlety of the transitions. Now we need to get this round form of the chin. $1,783. Alejandro, new software. Yeah, this is playing around with Rebelle. I appreciate your arts by Ankit. How early on in your art journey should you consider finding an art mentor? That's a good question. I think it's going to be different for everyone. Yeah, it's going to be a very like personal sort of decision. I think if you can come to an art mentor with a clear goal, that would be one, let's say, good thing to do. You've got a clear goal of what you want to do and where you want to go, then you're going to get more out of those sessions rather than coming in with like, oh, I don't know really what I want to do, blah, 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 blah. Because they're going to be able to help you more if you've got an idea of where you want to go. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. How is it holding up in my opinion? The Rebelle? Yeah, it's very cool. Very, very cool. I like it. We could even do a cheeky, let's try it out. Can we like add in some highlights? We don't really want to cross into any of the shadows, but where we got this center light, we could get away with maybe a few. Maybe. Don't know if I love it. It's growing on me. Yeah, Lana, I'm still on. Not going to be on for much longer, though. Appreciate you popping in. The reference picture window in Rebelle is it? Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. We could even push if we wanted to. Push this a little bit darker as well. You notice as we start pushing the values, the sort of deeper it becomes, but they're values in context. We're not just putting dark values for the sake of having dark values in there. There's just pencil or simulated pencil. All the same principles apply. Deruko, what's going on? Welcome back. I've been well. How you been doing? Ornella, what do you think about drawing stylized animals in your style? I think it would be interesting to see how you stylize them and the shapes they have, or do you not like it? I like it. I very much like doing stylized animals. I just haven't posted that many of them, you know? Like I literally... Yeah, save this guy. I was messing around with this turtle dude. Alright. I do enjoy playing around with animals as well, painting them, stylizing them. Anything really. I have a good time with. But look guys, I reckon I might stop the stream. Let's have a look at what we did. Now we've had a moment to do something completely different. How did we go with the car? Yeah, it's all right. It's cool. Very poppy, very like, there's a lot of colors in your face. But this is more just like having a play around with the brush engine, seeing what we could come up with. And yeah. Had a lot of fun. Nah, all good, Lana. All good. Deruko, could Spanish subtitles be added live or after recording Spanish audio, or would that be too much to ask? I understand English, but very little. I think YouTube's starting to roll that out automatically. So you might be able to get them soon-ish. But yeah, I think, yeah, they're working on that on YouTube. I'll double check if it's already started to happen. I'm not entirely sure. Kentas, going good. Just about to wrap it up though. But yeah, with that, thank you very much for popping in. Before you go, going to be at Lightbox in October in Pasadena with my good friend Rembert Montold. What else? If you like this stylized stuff, you can check the links in the description. Got an 8-hour 10-chapter walkthrough tutorial available right now. And you know where to find me. Links in the description. Shout out to Rebelle, the team at Escape Motions, for giving me access, early access to Rebelle 8. I reached out to them. It's something that I've been playing around with for the last month. I think it's a really cool tool. So yeah, not really sponsored, but sponsored, not really. They gave me access to it, you know what I mean? And I like it. It's very fun. Gonna have a good time working this into my workflow. And for those that are in chat, Gibbertoons, the World Series of Lightbox Poker. Looking forward to it. Hope you're doing well. To watch live stream with subtitles, there's an option called live captions in Chrome. Oh, there you go. Sick. Yeah, so for those that are in chat, appreciate you. Thank you for popping past. For those that are lurkers, appreciate you just as much. Thank you very much for popping in. Same time next week, 10:45 a.m. on a Monday, Australian Central Standard Time. For those in the US time zones, PST, Sunday, 3:30, I think. Somewhere thereabouts. All right? I had fun. I hope you had fun. And I'll catch you in the next one. And that rhymes. I didn't mean to. A happy little accident. All right. Have a great week. While I try and find the end stream button. Where's the end stream? I'm still here. All right. Catch ya.